What we're interested in Hakasia because it has long and tree ring series, records from tree rings that can let us study the climate variation. And the climate variation in Hakasia and in the Altai Mountains is very important on a large scale. It affects the flow of the Yenisei River and the flow into the Arctic Ocean of fresh water and heat into the Arctic Ocean. So it's a big focus on a large scale influence. And the Hakasia region is ideal for this because not only we have good samples, tree ring samples here, we have a laboratory that's been collecting tree rings now for quite a while. And so we have a good start at having data to work with that can give us maybe several hundred years of record of the climate and the stream flow.
Okay, thank you very much.
To continue on what Dave was saying, I mean, this area, based on my experience by working with the graduate student Tanya on a paper that is going to come out soon, published, the climate, the relation between the climate data and the tree ring data is exceptional. I mean, it can give you a good story about how the climate was in the past when you use the tree ring data with the climate data and extrapolate back in time. You will have a good explanation on the variability of climate, not for 50 years, for 300 years, or 400 years. And this is, Hakasia has this quality of climate, of relation between tree ring and climate, specifically also for precipitation. In other region of Siberia you might have temperature signal, but here we are getting precipitation signal, which is also a good connection with the stream flow of the Yenisei River for our study. In addition that we started here when this lab started. And with your help, you know, and the Siberian Federal University, Eugene Vaganov, Professor Vaganov, this lab start getting more and more, you know, reaching a better point in developing as a center for dendrochronology, climatology in the Hakasia region and for also or Siberia. What we usually do, I mean, the trees never lie. Okay? And you can get, if you take a sample from a tree, you can see variation between narrow ring, wide rings. So first of all, after we take the sample, we date it, and then we date like 20 trees, 40 samples from 20 trees. Then after we date it, we measure it, then we start looking at the relationship between the annual rings and the climate data. First we run certain statistical analysis to find out what season influenced the tree growth. When we find, let's say, in Hakasia we find July to June season is the most influence on the tree growth. So we use that season, we run statistical analysis, simple regression analysis, we got a model from that, and since we get a nice relationship, we extrapolate back in time by using this model. And this way, instead of you understand the climate for 50 years, you can study the climate for 300 years. It depends on the age of the trees.
Okay, thank you very much.